Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? I just tried to clean my window a little bit. It was pouring rain about a half hour ago, and the window got soaked. But I'm pointing off in the direction of Thailand and Ekkamai. Let me zoom in here. If you see that little bit of gold in the middle, that is the movie theater and bowling alley, kind of in between Soi 61 and 63, Sukhumvit. And you can almost see the, well, you can. Let me zoom back here. Nah, I'm not going to be able to get my finger in there. I was going to try to point to the Ekkamai BTS station, but I'm going to head up in that direction. This Ekkamai, Thailand. Ekkamai is a pretty fancy area, real popular with Korean business people and expats, but everybody lives there. My buddy lives right near the BTS. You also have the bus station on the odd side or even side. Wait, I'm getting confused. The bowling alley is between 61 and 63. 63 is the main street there in Ekkamai. It's a large, busy street. On the other side, around Sukhumvit Soi 42, on the even side, you'll find the Eastern bus station with the cheap buses to points all around Thailand, including Pattaya. I think it's 131 baht each way. But let's go take a look at the more mellow sections. Soi 63, it's going to be hustle and bustle. You get one street away on Soi 61. It's a nice little quiet area of low-rise condos, yet you are close to everything. From there, you can get up to, let's call it Seoul and Terminal 21, the center of Bangkok. From Ekkamai, BTS to Seoul, 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes. It's a very, very close ride. If you want to continue down the line to, say, the American Embassy and all those different embassies on Wireless Road, from Ekkamai, maybe a 10-minute commute. So it's very centrally located here in Bangkok. And just looking off to the right, you can get a glimpse of the Chao Phraya River. More winding down on Note, you'll find the port and all the container ships. And this is looking in the direction of Rama 4. If you see that antenna, I was going to say, I think that's the Channel 3 building. It's over there somewhere. And right below that building, I'm lucky to have 3 shopping centers. There's K Village with a Via Market. Across from that is a Big C. And then there's a walk bridge that goes across Rama 4 into a Lotus shopping center. So I can either hop on a motor taxi right down there. I'm on Sukhumvit Soi 26 and be there in 2 minutes, or it's maybe a 10-minute walk over there to shopping. And I just zipped over here, Sukhumvit Soi 61 on a, I don't even know what it was, 35 baht motorbike on Grab. Maybe Bolt's a little cheaper, but Grab, I don't know. I just like Grab better. Bolt, you'll put in the exact address and they always seem to be a half a block off. Where are you? Not all the time, but that has never happened to me on Grab. So if it costs me 3 baht extra, I normally lean in that direction. So this is Ekkamai. I'm standing at the bowling alley, or Simplex. I guess it's called Major Simplex. There's a Blue Old Bowl upstairs, a McDonald's, Starbucks. And if you walk just a short distance up on the left, not even a 2-minute walk, you'll find an ice skating rink. And on the other side of the road, like I mentioned, is the bus station. Yeah, you can even see the yellow sign peeking out. That is Mark Wien's YouTuber. His restaurant, Ped Mark. And the next street up is the very busy Soi 63, the main Ekkamai drag. Across the way is the planetarium. But let's take a look at this little quieter Soi 61. As I'm ducking rain clouds, I forgot to bring an umbrella, which was stupid. If you're in the US, UK, whatever, load up on some quality portable umbrellas. that you can throw in a backpack. I'm sure I have a half dozen. Here's a 7-Eleven right here at the base of the movies. But having them is one thing, and carrying them is another. This is a hardware paint store. Now here's some basic housing, the Lodge 61. Little Thai food and coffee shop down below. I don't know what this dark and light is. I'm assuming it's well, I was gonna say a hotel, but I'm not sure. It looks like some kind of dining upstairs. Chun Play. Huh, I have to look that up because that Counting Duck poster they have out front, I know that's a local band. Here's the tire shop. And just like this building straight ahead, 6-8 story, that's the majority of what you're gonna find on 61. No major high rises. Well, maybe at the very end. I'm not sure what this business is. I think this is a fourplex. I know you can cut off to the right here, and there's a market. Can't remember which. Max Value, perhaps. This is the Owl Society, if you want to look that up. And the Melting Clock Italian restaurant. Soi 63 will have everything. If you want a little quieter spot to live, yet be close to some fancy nightclubs, the Mode Sukhumvit 61, couple of whatever those are, 6-story towers. And this looks like a restaurant supply, Thai stainless steel company. There's going to be a little bit of traffic on this street. I'm sure there's a way to avoid busy Soi 63 by heading up 61 and taking a shortcut. Okay, this is the Max Value in the, I think it's called the Park Lane. Yeah, it's right in front of me. The Park Lane Shopping Center. Find the Max Value supermarket. Some fancy restaurants. I know there's a high-end watch store. It's like a coffee shop. Bacon Brew. Go take a peek at the grocery store. Really not supposed to be filming in here. Kinds of bakery products. You just have to kind of adjust your thinking a little bit compared to products you're going to find in the U.S. For instance, if you're a Mountain Dew person, you're not going to find that here in Thailand unless it's changed. And if you want Haagen-Dazs, it's here. A pint's $2.79. It's more expensive than the U.S., but then again, I just came from the U.S. Prices seem to have really shot up. Pedigree. Buy a couple of Tylenol here, whatever that is. 17 baht. I like these no caffeine, no sugar. They went up 1 baht. They were 16 forever. You can still get a Coke for 16 baht. I guess that's a Diet Coke. I mentioned it many times. If you're a little particular, and I'm not too particular on many things, but I like a nice razor. And they're pretty darn expensive over here. So on my last trip to California, I brought a ton of Harry's razors back from Costco. So here's 2 Mach 3s. Let's give you an example. 400 baht for 2 razors. You can probably get 25 razors in Costco for 30 bucks. You'll find cornflakes and frosted flakes even in 7-Eleven. If you want a little bit more selection of cereal, and I can only speak from the US, the Via Market. They have all kinds of things, but it's got to be 10 bucks a box. Orange juice, 89 baht. And all of these markets, not unlike the US, will have a nice selection of pre-cooked items. $1, 35 baht. There's a Japanese market, Fuji Market, near O'Shea's, my pub. If I'm heading out of happy hour, 7:30, I'll stick my head in there, and they're normally marking all the prepackaged items, and they have some good ones, nice sushi rolls and all, half price. Again, I'm not going out of my way to save $1, but if I'm there anyhow. So this is Sukhumvit Soi 63, and there's some fancy retailers, some higher end massage, Tantan restaurant. Okay. But let's get back over on Soi 61. The max value, it says it's open from 7 till 2300, 11 p.m., which is nice. Many of the grocery stores, Big C, Lotus, many of them open 10 a.m. and close at 10 p.m. I'm oftentimes wanting to hit that grocery store, and it's 10 minutes till 10. And there goes the police officer, sometimes referred to as the boys in brown. I don't see the name on this building. They appear to be fairly large units from the balcony size. Maybe those are private condos. I can't tell. Dozen units. If you want to look up exactly where we're at, we're just leaving the Park Lane Shopping Center in between Soi 61 and 63. This building on the right, the address, not to be confused with the address on Sukhumvit Soi 28. I think that's a restaurant. couple of smaller buildings tucked away back here, the Silva and the Greenery Place. Mexican restaurant back here I did not know about. I'm sure I've walked by it in the past. The Spanish eatery, I remember. Where is this place? You see the Spanish eatery back there. I've mentioned it many times. One of my favorites around town is Charlie Brown's. It's just off of Sukhumvit Soi 19 in the Terminal 21 area. It's tucked away a little. Danzante. I'm looking at the board. Buy one, get one free. Classic margaritas. Special tamales, chicken mole. Okay. Tattoo shop also back here, the 6 Ink. And I think that Spanish place, yeah, there it is, El Tapio. And getting back to adjusting to your new surroundings, you're not going to find Mexican food here in Bangkok that is going to taste like Baja California, but that's kind of hard to find even in many parts of Southern California. The Counting Leaf. Okay, this is a, well, I was going to say it's a coffee shop, but they say they have Sapporo beer. Ayasan apartment for rent. I don't know what that is. Let's go take a look. Some nice greenery. Okay, it looks like just a basic apartment down there. I don't want to scare that lady sweeping while I'm filming. There's also the Fill in the Blank Cafe back there. Not that I would scare her, but if somebody's walking around sticking a camera on your residence, I get it. Kim Yong Grill. I'm gonna assume that's Korean food tucked away. Crossover. 80 millimeters back. All right, I have time. I guess it's 80 meters back. What did I say, millimeters? I'm not really down with the metric yet. Well, the same story. Chef's kind of staring at me what I'm up to. But Kim Yong Grill if you need it. I'm not sure what this is. Thrive Together. E-commerce, printing, shipping, design, online marketing. All right. It's like a co-working space. That's exactly what it is. I think these are just some private shop house type homes. Beautiful. Might be a nice place to live. Socio 61 reference. And that's next door to the Avenue 61. With a plant-based, I'm assuming, restaurant. Plantiful. My buddy Ben's, he actually lives in this area. He likes to find all the nice vegetarian and vegan type restaurants around town. And this is something outlet. I think it's a furniture store. I was worried about the rain. It's really heating up now. He's probably better off heading out when it was sprinkling. Here's a big private home. You'll find these compounds all over Bangkok, in between the high rises. But it's getting pretty peaceful down here, so there must not be a way to turn right onto the busy Sukhumvit 63. Maybe they were all heading up and cutting through that max value. What is this? Something apartments? I'm sure there's going to be a guard standing right here, but this is really nice. Huh, some nice apartments over here. Yeah, just little hidden gems like that interest me compared to going from one large high-rise to another. I'm sure those are the deals you need a hookup on to find out when they're available. If there's 6 units tucked away in that little complex, it's still a pretty peaceful way to live. From here to the Ekkamai BTS, 10-minute walk, 8-minute walk. It's kind of at the base of those that last building. Sukhumvit straight ahead, make a left turn, and you're at the bus station, which is also BTS Ekkamai. You'll also hear about the Mochit bus station. That is on the other edge of town. I am not positive. They used to have a bus to Pattaya, but you might as well go from Ekkamai, and it's easier. You're not crossing town. So here's the nice at 61. But if you're heading to, say, Hua Hin, then Mochit might be the way to go. Mville. And this is just called the Bangkok Sukhumvit 61. I'm not sure if that large building is on 61 or whatever the next street might be, 59. My memory's escaping me. I think there's some kind of consulate at the end of this street, or ambassador's residence. Monaco's coming to mind, but I can't remember. Okay, yes, that large building is the region on the Park 2. And just as a coincidence, the region on the Park 1 is my neighbor building on Soi 26. I'm not sure about this property, but I always see people walking dogs out of Park 1. And it's expensive. Oh, this building reminds me of an old New York City brick apartment building. I haven't been down this street in a year. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Bon. Okay, I'll try. On Hada. I sure like the I like the brickwork. Some more private homes. There's something up this little side Soi, the Lil Cap Makeup Studio. Yeah, again, if you could get an apartment above a private house like that, that'd be kind of cool. You know, I'm not going to walk down here. There's probably going to be a dog come flying out of one of these gates, but little cat makeup if you need it. And we're getting a ways tucked back here now from the BTS. Just be a little careful when you're speaking with a realtor if I don't know, they're showing you a certain listing tucked way back here, say 15 minutes from the train, and the explanation will be, well, they have a tuk-tuk to run you down there, so no problem. I've said it many times, I'm not a big fan of the condo bus. For one thing, they'll hold 6, maybe 8 people. And if you're heading to work every morning, well, you and everybody else, so there may be 15 people standing in line, and you're going to have to wait for that one bus to go in circles or pay that motorbike charge every day. Normally, these motor taxi guys are pretty smart. I don't know if this is a motor taxi stand right here or security. I don't know what that is. But they'll normally be, I think those are just some private homes. There'll normally be some motor taxis standing by, but right there, the reserve on 61, you can see that holds 5 people. Not a problem unless 10 people are waiting to go to work. When I see a sign on the side of, this is that, whatever it is it Monaco? We'll find out in a minute. I see a sign saying, no worse traffic. We don't want large buildings on our street. It says, yeah, exactly, the Consulate General of Monaco. Another beautiful compound, beautiful to me. And there is CCTV cameras everywhere on this street. I don't think I'm breaking too many laws, just giving you a little street tour. But somebody's watching me. Oh, I forgot about this building. Is it the Millard or Willard? Nice architecture. Appear to have the Millard, a nice rooftop garden. Now we've come down to the end of 61 and the reserve. This is a smaller building. I believe the reserve is this larger kind of fancy 8-story in the back. And I've walked down this in the past. It's just some private homes. There's no way to connect to the other Soi if it's 59 or whatever the other street is. So there you go. There's a little peek at a quiet street in the bustling Ekkamai area. Soi 63. Just come one street over. Soi 61, and things mellow out in a hurry. So I appreciate you following along with me. I'm gonna walk back up towards the BTS and decide from there. I'm no longer worried about rain. I'm worried about walking around in the 11 a.m., 12 noon heat of the day, which is no joke. So I really appreciate you following along with me. If you're interested in these street walks, street tours, walking and talking around Bangkok, that's what my little channel's about. Just looking around and bringing the camera with me. I was probably in the same position as a lot of people. A couple of 2-3 years before I retired, just soaking in all these videos of different areas I was considering moving to. So I'm trying to pay it forward a little and just kind of show some of these basic videos to give you an idea what you may expect. You can see it's a pretty clean area, very, very safe, but it's going to come at a bit of a cost. I'm not pretending to not show you some of the most expensive real estate in Thailand. So if you're trying to live on $1,000 a month, it's not going to be in Ekkamai. It's probably not going to be in Bangkok unless you're living, I don't know, 10 miles from the nearest train and in a $80 US Thai style apartment. Then maybe you can get it done. But compared to many parts of the world, Ekkamai, Phrom Phong, Tung Lo, even the more expensive areas of Bangkok, they're going to come at a fraction of the cost compared to many parts of the world, including where I'm from in Southern California. When I was in Sydney last year, I'm sure London is the same. Crazy expensive. That guy wants to be heard. I heard another YouTuber, I forget who it was, that you have to modify your exhaust so people can hear you coming. And okay, and that guy's certainly going to be heard coming. And here's something starting at 7.69 million baht, the S61. I don't know if it's behind that gate or being built. Get out of this car's way. Yeah, maybe it's this building. 8-story job. So there you go, a peek at Sukhumvit 61 in the Ekkamai area, very centrally located. Close to the BTS, close to the Eastern bus station. It's just called the Ekkamai bus station. And that Sukhumvit light green line straight ahead. That'll get you anywhere you need to go. Let's see, to the right is Tung Lo, then Phrom Phong, then Asok, then Nana, Phnom Chit, Chit Lom, and then you're at Siam Central and Siam Paragon. In the other direction, you'd be at, where are we at? Prakanong and the W District. The next stop after that is On Nut. And then continue on down the way. If you want to get to a more affordable area, keep going down that green line to Bering and Udom Suk. There are some nice buildings attached to the BTS. And 15,000 baht and under is the name of the game. I don't like to quote prices, they change so often, but way back in the day, I forget the exact building, it was at Udom Suk. There was a 7-Eleven at the bottom of the building, and it was 12,000 baht for a 1-bedroom. And of course, the first thing they said, but that's negotiable. So do not be afraid to ask for 10,000 baht if 12,000 is going price, and 12 is probably just after the pandemic. Maybe that's 18,000 baht now for all I know, but even 18, ask for 15. You might need to be a little creative. Hey, I'll give you 6 months rent up front. Some people will say that's not a great idea, and maybe it's not until you establish a relationship with your landlady, more than likely. Every time I've rented, it's a single lady, but I've had nothing but good luck with my current landlord, and I did just that when I renewed my lease. She gave me a heck of a deal when I moved in. I asked to keep the rent exactly the same, and I'll pay you twice a year, 6 months at a time, and I'll sign a 2-year lease. So she was agreeable to that. And to be quite honest, I was honest with her. I'm not planning on going anywhere, but if I had to break that lease or even wanted to break it for whatever reason, I don't owe her the entire 2 years. She'll keep 2 months, the security deposit and the last month's rent. That's the penalty for 9 out of 10 times. You'll have to make sure that's written into your lease, but that's the penalty for breaking your lease, not you owe 18 months left on this 2-year lease and I'm taking you to court. Again, I'm not trying to pass out any legal advice. I've just heard that from my friends, and I've asked the question a couple of times. If there were an emergency and I had to move back to the US or whatever the case is, they said no problem. Give us as much time as you have to get a new tenant in there, but basically you owe that 2 months. And my landlady, she even said something along the lines of I might not even charge you the whole 2 months if we can get another person in there, or you have a buddy that wants to assume your lease. We'll work something out. It's definitely less litigious than California real estate. Not that I've rented an apartment in I don't know how long, 30 plus years. And with that being said, I'm in no real hurry to buy a condo over here. Rents are just so reasonable compared to the price of the unit. Not that it's unreasonable, but if you're paying, in my case, 1,900 baht, what is that, a little over 600 US dollars? And I think my apartment, when I looked it up, I want to say it was 180,000 US. So that's a whole bunch of $600. Even if the rent goes up to $800, that break-even point is way down the road. Plus, I'll probably want to move. But that is up to you. I have to get past my California real estate way of thinking that you buy, because it's only going to double in value every 6 years. That may or may not be the case here. Oh, and I'm almost to Sukhumvit. Tepen, I think I missed this restaurant. I'm assuming it's Japanese style based on the, I don't know, I was going to say based on the lower tables, but I think there's a hole for you to put your feet in. Yeah, there is. Huh, Tepen. I think I mentioned it before, there are a ton of Japanese and Korean folks from, well, all over Bangkok, but from Prompong. A lot of where I live, a lot of Japanese folks. Tongla, there's even a Japanese hospital and all kinds of Japanese grocery stores. They're still up here in Ekkamai, but then it gets pretty Korean restaurant-wise and nightclubs. There are some places in Tongla and Ekkamai that say Japanese only, and that's okay. I don't know if you can see that through the glass. That's an old school, looks like a 70s Honda. Over here it's probably called a Monkey. They're still making the Monkeys, but my cousin Steve had a couple of those Honda mini trails we used to tear up his dad's back property with, and then moved on to all kinds of different motocross bikes. He was really good. I was terrible, but I got out there and had a good time. I even started racing vintage motocross. I got that wild idea in my later 40s from a buddy at work, and I was out there all around California, well, Southern California. There were half dozen Indian reservations. That's the only place you can race anymore, insurance wise. On a couple of old CZs, Czechoslovakian bikes. It was old guys on old bikes. I think I had two 1972 250s, and I had a 1978 Husqvarna, the old Husky. And going up against other old timers, I was winning. Got myself a couple of trophies compared to back in the 80s. in Southern California. The only chance I had of winning is if 15 guys fell down in front of me. So here we are, back up at the top of Sukhumvit. I appreciate you following along. And again, I'll be out having fun, making my little videos. So maybe give me a thumbs up if that's something that's valuable for you, and it'll help YouTube put the videos out to some other people looking into Bangkok. I'd appreciate that. You take it easy. Have a good afternoon.